Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sheboygan A's baseball. We're getting ready to start Game 2 of this 4-game weekend with the Chicago Rippers. Sheboygan won the first game by a score of 6-5, winning in the bottom of the 7th on a Gus Walker base hit that scored Caleb Lorbecki. It was a very fine game, really exciting. And there's still time for you fans to get back out here and watch Game 2. We had a nice crowd for the first game. Let's go with Sheboygan's defensive lineup. They have Jacob Neese over at first, Davis Wilson at second, Harry Stelt at third, and Kyle Flynn is at shortstop. In the outfield, Brian Becker's in left, Gus Walker in center, and Brady Zach Risen is in right. Ian Mary is doing the catching and pitching this second game. Starting is Dylan Davis. He's a Random Lake native. Went to Random Lake High School. He also attends Marion. There was something you could have done, Charlie. Figured out how many Sheboygan A's players are from Marion. It's got to be a
we got
pretty
the
big
preseason
crew.
rosters. I can quick count that out. Let's see. We got 3 pitchers. We got so it looks like 7. I think we have as the first strike. We'll start our game off today.
Andy Guyton, the leadoff hitter in Game 1, is the leadoff hitter in this game, and he drags a bunt. He's going to make it safe. Good bunt by Andy. Good way to start off the ball game for the Rippers.
Guyton, a very impressive performance in Game 1. Had a very good catch as well as a home run. This time starting off a little bit on the slower side, starting with a bunt as Bowling comes up.
Mike Bowling, again, playing out in center field. What I noticed with the Ripper lineup is the position changes for their guys.
Number of position changes.
Yeah. They're sticking with Guyton and Bowling in left and center. Greg Ludwig played right in the first game. He's over at first. Bowling comes up empty with that big swing. Dylan Davis, like we mentioned, from Random Lake, attends Marion. Did you figure it out? How many?
7 as well as 2 alumnus.
Wow. So 9. Ooh, that's a lot. Thank goodness for Marion.
Yeah.
There's a line drive out to center field. Walker makes the grab. And there's one out in the top of the first inning.
Walker's first catch of this game.
Yeah, how many did he throw?
I forgot to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe 6, if my count is right.
Mike Kuda's up. Kuda was at first base in the first game. He's over at second base in this ball game. Mike had a good game. Mike Kuda. They got several Mikes on their team, too. 3 of them. Mike Bowling, Mike Kuda, and Mike Martin. Kuda was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Had a double.
Guyton manages to take second.
Probably the best part of Game 2, Charlie, is we can now read the scoreboard clearly. Now it's just a matter if Bill can get the count right. Nobody noticed in the first game. Deep to left field, Becker retreating, lines it up and makes a catch. Bowling threatened to go, but he knew better.
Of course, with the sun starting to lower, still not fully gone yet. Can at least see it from a light's perspective. I still have a big beam my way over the strike count, so
that could be there all season, Charlie.
Yeah, I can still move around it fairly easily, but I think if I stand up, I can.
We're gonna have to get you a seatbelt for that bar stool. Sanchez with a roller to Stelt at third. He picks and fires in time. Chicago scoreless in the top of the first. Sheboygan will be coming up after a few messages.
Shop Meyer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier factory authorized dealer.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Joba Farrell on the hill for the Rippers. And leading off the ball game for Sheboygan in the bottom of the first is Gus Walker. Walker got the game-winning hit in game one. He was 2 for 4 in the ball game. Hopefully he's breaking out of his slump, Charlie. Get that average back up to in the 390s again.
Would be very nice. Gus started off his last game a little bit slowly, but those 2 hits coming in his last 2 plate appearances. So in the end, that's really what matters.
Hey, game 1 winner, Brad Reinflush is trotting over, number 42, to coach first base. Looks like Kenny Nazy lost his job. I mean, I thought he did pretty good. We scored 6 runs. He kept waving him over to second.
Yes. No, maybe it was bad luck that we had so many singles in that game. Maybe it's because of Nazy.
Yeah, really. Got to make that left turn. Go to second. Tim Moyer, or no, that's why Kenny's over at third this game. They put Moyer in the dugout. He's even leaning against the dugout fence. There's Kenny over at third. If you swing that camera over a little bit, maybe we'll see Tim. But, well, he's gone now. He's behind the screen. Tony Sanchez is catching for the Rippers this game. Mosley is been moved. He's over at third.
Sanchez DH'd last game for Chicago.
That's right, yeah. Good point. There's a drive out to left. Guyton could hear him up here in the booth saying, I got it, and he certainly did. Fly out to left. That'll bring up Kyle Flynn.
Flynn, a little bit quiet last game. 1 for 4. Had a single and did end up scoring on that.
What do you think Flynn's favorite food is, Charlie? I'll give you a hint. It's meat and potatoes.
So very... See, the analogy doesn't fully work because the answer could be meat and potatoes.
It's not the potatoes part.
Okay. Go with the nice, like, I don't know, hamburger maybe?
A little more exquisite than that.
Okay.
Bouncing ball to Mosley at third.
Bill's saying steak. I'm going to go with his answer.
Bill, you're a winner. It's a steak. Kyle likes steak.
Third baseman, number 19, Harry Stelt.
Harry Stelt is up. Harry was 0 for 2 with a couple of walks.
Still no hits on the year, but walking 5, 6 times?
Well, he had 4 coming into the game today, so he's got 6 already this season.
6 walks, 0 hits, 11 plate appearances. I believe that's the lineup.
I tell you, when you look at this Joba Farrell pitch, he's got a nice motion out there. Nice and free and easy, and he throws pretty hard, too.
looping breaking ball in there, a little bit high. Farrell had a home run in the last game, now not hitting at all, just going to be pitching for Chicago.
Strike on the outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. There are 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first.
Lots of 2s out there on the scoreboard.
When that happens, Charlie will like to say deuces are wild.
Okay.
But not anymore.
Now full count for Harry. Good position for him to be in.
Harry lofts that one out to Bowling in center field, and he makes the catch. And after one complete, no score.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend.
Greg Ludwig is batting for the Rippers to lead off this second inning. Dylan Davis, of course, on the hill. He's in his second year with Sheboygan.
Pitch inside. Ludwig nearly had a diving catch to save that walk-off run last game, but
there's a ball hit out to right center, but coming over is Walker, and he makes the catch.
and I might want to double check, but I believe that is number 9 on the day. Their 9th F8.
To this game already.
To this game, we had double checking my math on.
Josh Mosley is up.
That's number 8 on the day for
only
Walker
8.
on center.
So he had 6 in the first game, and he's got
6 in the
2 already
first game, all within the first 5 innings.
Yeah, really. Wow. Sean's in the house. Ball right up the middle, right through the legs of Davis. And a base hit for Mosley, his first of the day.
Slide from Flynn, not quite able to stop it, but in the end, still a single only as Rodriguez comes up.
Rodriguez was at third base in the first game. He moves over to short this game. And we're missing their most important player in the lineup, Mike Martin. Where is that boy?
I believe Mike Martin probably taking it. Seems like he's the Rippers' Mike Martin taking up full-time residence over at the third base, I think.
Charlie had a chance to chat with Mike Bowling, the center fielder for Chicago, and I asked him about that, always handing the ball to the umpire instead of tossing it to him, and he said that started when he was in junior college, and his college coach wanted him to always hand it because it was more respectful. Maybe get the umpire to like you a little bit, might be able to get you a call or two. So there's some method to that madness. Ball in the dirt. Ian Mary stops it, but no play on Mosley. I guess we're going to give him a stolen base.
Sometimes just gotta butter up the boys in blue.
Anything that helps. And I remember Sheboygan North basketball coach Tom Desatel was at the school for 39 years, and he always wanted his players to hand the ball to the official, not throw it. That base hit by Rodriguez scores Mosley, and Chicago's on top again, like they were in Game 1. Sheboygan forced to come back in Game 2.
So far, the scoreboard looking out pretty similar.
Darius Lugo is up. He's the DH this game. Hey, Bill, did Lugo come in to play second base in the first game?
Yes.
Okay, so Lugo came in when they made the final pitching change to play second base. He was the one guy that I missed.
Didn't end up batting last game, but a little bit of work out there in the field.
Right, that's where I put him.
A big swing there.
Yeah, good fastball by Dylan Davis.
Chicago's got a lot of people who swing the bat very hard on their team.
By the way, in talking to those Ripper guys, I mentioned that my name was Mike Martin too, and they said, yeah, I think you are the most important guy in the press box. Unlike CJ and Bill. They think I rank 5th and there's only 4 people up here.
4 people up here, 1 intern, and you got it.
Called strike 3 and a good breaking ball by Dylan Davis. 2 outs now for the number 9 hitter, Tyler Hill. Hill playing out in right field.
Right fielder, number 31, Tyler Hill.
Hill did not make an appearance last game. However, starting out in right today, batting 9th. Or for this game.
I think what happened in that first game is Ludwig got so tired chasing all those balls out in right field, he said, I want to play first base this game.
Had a lot of action out there in right.
So Jake Mills said, okay, you can do that.
Had a few singles out towards him, had a couple of running plays, nearly had that diving catch.
Yeah, that would have been a game saver, literally, if you'd have caught that one. That Walker hit. Good stop by Ian Mary.
Was about to say sending us home a little bit early. Still was a 2.5-hour game last game.
It's like we were saying after the game, the last thing we need is extra innings in the first game of a 4-game set. Line drive, base hit out in the left field. Hill hit that ball hard. Stopping at second was Rodriguez. So Davis gave up a single to lead off the game. That bunt base hit by Guyton, and now he's given up 3 hits this inning. Not a good start for Dylan. I don't think Guyton will be bunting, though. What do you think, Charlie?
He did manage to get out of the box pretty quickly. The lefty bat pretty easy, but with 2 outs, probably a little bit too much risk out there.
You're not going to drive a run in with a bunt single. There's a high fly ball hit out the center. Walker has it measured. And that ends the second inning, but not before Chicago comes up with a run. As we enter the bottom of the second, it'll be Chicago 1, Sheboygan nothing.
Whenever you shop Meyer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number.
Brady Zach Risen is going to lead off the bottom of the second for Sheboygan. Maybe our quiz question should be, what college does Brady attend? If you're guessing Marion, you're correct.
At this point, no. Almost a coin flip for game instead is Marion or not Marion. I'm sure if we look through some A's alumnus, we could probably see even more people from Marion.
Brady was 1 for 3 in the first game and had a sacrifice fly. Had 3 RBIs that game in the first game. Had that 2 RBI single in the fourth. Put Sheboygan right back in the ball game. Long first game, 2 hours and 29 minutes, according to Bill.
This game maybe hopefully going a little bit faster, but quickest way to get through the game is Sheboygan leads going into the 7th.
What makes it seem even longer is we had such short games in that play ball tournament. I think our longest game was down the right field side, chasing it into the corner, and then Zach Grisson pulls up. Boy, what an arm. But he has a lead-off double. Good start for Sheboygan.
In Game 1, Sheboygan took until the 5th inning to get an extra base hit. Now only 2 innings in, and a solid double to start things off for Zach Grisson.
Jacob Niesop. Brady now with a home run and a double. Jacob with a mighty swing and a miss.
That home run still the only one on the year for the A's. Hit that in our finals, I believe, of the play ball tournament. Playing against Manitowoc.
Jacob pops that one up, but it's out of play, into the stands.
The stands means a fan is getting a free extra $1 from the concession stand.
Get your $1 coupon. Get the pretzel bites. Fly ball hit into short center. Racing in is Bowling. He slides and has the catch. What a play by Mike Bowling.
The outfield for both teams getting a lot of work so far today. A lot of very well hit balls by both Chicago and Sheboygan. Bowling with a nice sliding catch there.
Jimmy Jurgensen in the lineup again. He was over at first in the first game, and he's the DH in this ball game.
Nisa and Jurgensen switching positions for this game.
Like we were talking about in the first game, Jimmy, big kid, 6'4", power hitter.
Strike on the outside there. Jimmy led the team in home runs last year with 8 on the year. .514 slugging percentage. Did very well when he made contact.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Brady Z out at second base with his double down the right field line.
Zackerson 10 doubles on the year last year as ball inside. For our leader in doubles, I don't believe is here this year, Ross Christ.
He's not on the team this year. He grew up and got a job. Graduated college and is working out of the area, unfortunately. Ground ball up the middle by Jorgi. Throw is coming home. It's off the mark. And sliding in safe is Zackerson, and the A's have tied it up on a base hit by Jimmy Jurgensen.
Of course, that's one thing that Sheboygan might have noticed out there in that first game. Bowling not the strongest arm out in center field. So maybe in this game, now with that knowledge, maybe a little bit more willing to go through and take a few extra bases. Of course, on those, you've seen from both Ludwig and now Hill in this game, very strong right field arms, so.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Flip to second. And it goes 6-4-3, a double play. Ends the Sheboygan second, but not before they tie it up. After 2 complete, 1-1.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
At Northwoods, we are a family. And like your family, our main concern is safety. As a leader in the cleaning and sanitation industry, we're doing our utmost to support and supply essential cleaning, sanitizing, and maintenance products to your family and business. And we're introducing new products, like our Cool Water Personal Hand Sanitizer with essential oils. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by COVID-19. At Northwoods, we're protecting you through this pandemic and the next.
Getting ready to lead off the third inning for the Rippers is Mike Bowling, their center fielder. Mike making a very nice sliding catch last half inning, robbing Nice of an extra base hit.
Bowling on the lefty-lefty matchup will foul one out of the park, I believe.
Dylan Davis looking to shut down the Rippers. Ground ball over to Nice. He grabs it and touches the bag ahead of Bowling for the out. 1 out in the third inning, and that brings up the number 3 hitter, Mike Kuda.
Bowling last game had a number of ground ball outs, and all of them still very difficult plays to make, even if they were relatively routine ground balls. Just the power that he has with his speed out there on the base paths. Perhaps a little bit lucky that he's only made base twice so far, both in the first game.
You were talking during the play ball tournament about Davis Wilson and how he's a favorite of from several of his teammates. They wrote him down as their favorite player. That's Dylan Davis's favorite player, Davis Wilson. Now that might have to do with the first name, last name thing, Davis, but still, Davis Wilson's name is on Dylan Davis's sheet as his favorite player. There's a drive into short center field. Bennett Becker dives but couldn't make the play. Backing up the play was Gus Walker, and they held Kuda with a single.
And actually, a double check on Dylan Davis' sheet. Davis Wilson actually marked as his favorite actor.
Oh, actor and actresses, you are right. Wow.
So, I mean,
Davis Wilson, he must just have...
Man of many talents.
Exactly. Man of many talents.
Plays a very good second base and apparently is a prolific actor.
Yeah. Tony Sanchez fouls that first pitch off. Tony grounded out to Harry Stout to end the first inning. Sanchez doing the catching.
Mentioned this in the first game, but one of the times that kind of wish that we had a few more, like the heights and weights as
line drive caught by Davis Wilson. The throw back to first is not quite in time. But my, oh my, what a catch on a line drive hit by Tony Sanchez. He got robbed.
Davis Wilson, just another one of his many talents with that diving catch.
Really? That's worth going home and watching the replay of the game and watching that catch. That was quite a play.
I'm hoping I had it on the cameras here.
Oh, so if it isn't, it's all your fault, huh?
Most likely, yeah.
Oh, come on, Charlie, be the man.
Hey, he might have been just in frame of our close-up cam that we have.
Okay, all right.
Which that's what we're gonna hope for at least. That was a very good catch by Davis.
Inside, it's there are 2 outs in the third inning. Kuda's still at first. 2 balls and no strikes to Ludwig.
Turns up to a 2-1 count.
Ball is hit foul.
Ludwig had a first inning RBI in game 1, but after that went 0 for 2 with a walk.
When I think of his position, being in right field, and his position in this game being first base, I see him more as a first baseman.
Seems to definitely have
another dive by Davis Wilson, but he was not able to get his glove on it, and it goes as a base hit for Ludwig. And Kuda, hustling on the hit, goes all the way to third.
As you were saying, Ludwig, that bigger frame on him definitely looks more like a first baseman. But we saw he had a very strong arm in that first game. So
even if Davis is able to knock that ball down, I don't think he would have been able to make a play. But getting a lot of hits off of Dylan Davis, and Mosley's up, and he singled and scored his first time at bat.
No throw on that one.
Murray's not going to throw down, give Ludwig a stolen base.
You were mentioning last game about, I believe it was Lorbecki's one stolen, or no, it was Jurgensen's one stolen base, how sometimes you'll have a runner from first go out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw it right there.
Made the throw unsuccessful there, so.
The thing that concerns me is Chicago's putting a lot of runners on base, and what that does is it turns the lineup over. So now guys start to see Davis the second, the third time, and it always becomes a little more difficult to get those batters as you go through the lineup. But he does just fine there, getting Mosley to end the third. Chicago fails to score. When we go to the bottom of the third, we'll still be tied at 1.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract. brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow. Raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Whoa. A little bit high. Getting ready to start the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Ian Mary and then Bennett Becker. And back to the top of the order, Gus Walker. Ian attends UW Platteville. He's a smart guy, Charlie. He's majoring in industrial and systems engineering.
Engineering is just something I could never get into. It's too much math for me.
Yeah, me too. Anything above, like figuring out a ERA, or a batting average,
Yeah.
it's getting pretty deep then.
See, that's why I like OPS. It's very simple. It's just add two numbers together. Getting those numbers is a little bit more difficult, but...
Exactly. Hard hit ball. Off the glove of the third baseman. Ian takes a big turn at first and then holds up. Good decision by Ian. Third hit by Sheboygan.
Mary, I don't believe present for our play ball tournament.
Who?
Mary.
He caught the second game.
Okay. Because remember Anzia was there. We've not seen him yet today.
Bennett Becker takes that first pitch for a ball. Bennett had a very nice game, 2 for 3 with an RBI.
Had a big double, I believe, in the bottom of the 7th in order to set up the eventual game-winning.
Actually, what happened was he singled, and then he went to second on the error by the left fielder.
Right.
Bobbled it out there.
That was just one of those plays where some people would call it.
You know, when he goes home now and puts down how he did today, it's a double.
Yeah. When he's marking his own stats, you'll tell him that I had put down a double on mine. I believe Bill, I counted it as an error. You counted it as an error as well. So
for him, it's a double.
Exactly.
2-2 is the count. Ian Mary's over at first with his single. Breaking ball just a bit outside. Boy, that was close.
Mary not taking much of a lead over at first. Not much, catcher's not much of a threat to steal a base.
Yeah, and there's a pitch for a ball, and that puts runners now on first and second. Good at bat for Bennett Becker, and Gus Walker is up. Walker got the game-winning hit. We mentioned that earlier, and he flew out to left. His first time up. Looking to keep his hitting streak going. I think it's one game.
Getting a streak started, at least.
Yeah. He squared the bunt. I don't think he was going to, but he did square up. Pitch was outside, so he took it. Ball 1 is the count.
Becker.
Kenny Nazy still over at third. Moyer is in the dugout. Again, he half squared up to bunt. Pitch was outside.
With 0 outs, you could be considering maybe laying down the bunt, get a, move the runners up to in scoring position. Not going to score after this time, though, as the pitch is high.
You got to be thinking he'll be taking a pitch for sure. Waiting on deck is Kyle Flynn. Farrell digging himself a hole. That pitch is in there for a strike. Good pitch by Joba. 3-1 is the count. Well, let's see what Gus does. Is he going to be swinging or bunting? Swinging. Fouled it straight back. Jackson Tillman hustling out after that ball. You can't see him in that shot. He's the A's bat boy. Yep, just caught him.
Caught him a little bit.
Running off the screen.
Gotta be a little bit quicker on those cuts between.
Gus takes that pitch inside, and that loads the bases. For Kyle Flynn. Mary's on at third. Becker's on at second with good speed. And Gus Walker on at first base with better speed. Mosley, the third baseman, is even with the bag. First pitch is in there for a strike.
Just on the outside, it looked like. Now Chicago dealing with a no outs bases loaded situation.
Flynn had a good rip at that, fouled it straight back.
That one bouncing back a little bit at least.
Hey, we had our first flip of the day.
First
the
foul ball.
Kid from the Ripper dugout went out and grabbed the ball and tossed it to the umpire. Usually they hand it to him. There's a fly ball out to deep right. Hill back. He'll make the catch, and that'll score a run. And then tagging up at second and going to third was Becker. A good piece of base running by him. So give Flynn a sacrifice fly. And the A's have the lead. And Becker goes to third. Walker stays at first.
Walker looked ready to take off for second, but I believe Hill caught that, ends up throwing it to the cutoff for the second baseman.
Be interesting to see if Gus Walker tries to steal second.
Possible he will take.
First pitch, line drive out to center field. I don't think he's going to get it. He will not. It goes all the way to the Myers sign out in center field. 2 runs are going to score. That throw is way off the mark. And Harry's in with a stand-up double and give him 2 RBIs.
And a tremendous first hit of the year for Harry Stowe. Been walking quite a lot, this time having to go for a little bit of a jog out on his hit.
You know, the A's would have been in tough shape if that kid makes a catch in center field bowling, because Walker was off and running on the pitch. If the catch is made, I don't know if he could have got back in time. Could have been a double play. But as it is, the A's have 3 runs in. There's 1 out. Harry's still at second. And Brady Zachrisson is up. What a hit by Harry. And Harry, fleet of foot, makes it to third on the wild pitch. Sanchez did a great job of keeping it by home plate, but he just couldn't locate it.
Did a great job of keeping it by home plate, as you said, but I think he might have thought that he didn't do a great job of keeping it.
That might have been the problem, right? There's a long drive out into center field. Racing back is Bowling. He can't see it. It's down, extra bases. He knew about where it was. They're going to have a play at third. Here's the throw, not in time. In at third with a triple is Brady Zachrisson. Oh my. The bats are alive. Bowling looked like he had a beat on it, Charlie, and then all of a sudden he just lost it.
Lost it, ends up falling behind him, and then of course Guyton quick to recover, but not quick enough. Harry able to easily score.
And Brady, with his good speed, was off and running on the crack of the bat, and he didn't slow up, even though it looked like Bowling would make the catch. He kept going. A good piece of base running. Ooh, there's a healthy fastball. Neese comes up empty. It makes the count no balls and 2 strikes.
Zachrisson, the third triple on the year for the team. I believe that would be his first.
Sheboygan now up 5-1. 4-run third inning.
Had a three-run fourth inning last game.
Good piece of hitting by Jacob to hang in there, fouling that nice pitch from Farrell off.
Of course, only 1 out so far in the inning, and even that out managing to score a run with the sacrifice fly from Flynn.
2 balls and 2 strikes. We had a scoreboard malfunction there for a second. Came back. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Farrell. 2 outs now in the third inning. Zach Grisson still on at third. Jimmy Jurgensen with a great RBI chance if he can come through with a hit.
RBI last inning to score Zachrisson. Hoping to do the same again this inning. This time just give more insurance for Dylan Davis.
Fly ball out to left. Guyton has it. And that ends the 4th inning, but not before Sheboygan comes up with 4 runs, and after 3 complete, Sheboygan on top, 5-1.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Getting ready to start the top of the 4th. Sheboygan with a great bottom of the 3rd, scoring 4 runs. Benji Rodriguez, the third baseman, is going to be leading off. Dylan Davis still on the hill for the A's.
Dave's got to imagine a lot longer of a leash now that we have the 4-run insurance.
Yeah, that's for sure. Nice to have that. But easy come, easy go.
Exactly. We did see that last game at around this time for Chicago, their 3-run fourth inning. Of course, with baseball, a lot of times you can just have that one explosive inning, and that's enough.
3-0.
Wasn't enough for Chicago last game.
No. Tell you, walks will kill you. We talked about the length of the first game, and a lot of it had to do with all the base on balls that were issued. 7 by us and 3 by them, so that's 10 walks in the ball game.
Was hoping this game doesn't quite go as long.
Lugo with a grounder to Harry at third, and Harry gets the force out at second, but not the double play.
Of course, just looking at the Chicago team, very difficult to get them into those double plays. They are a very fast team for the most part. We've seen them fly around the base paths.
I agree with you totally on that. Tyler Hill up.
Quick people on Chicago, mainly those that center fielder Mike Bowling. Very fast, but perhaps a little bit too fast last inning.
Tyler with a good swing, fouled it straight back.
Hill didn't see him at all in the first game. Has a single so far in this one, though did not advance any further past first.
Sheboygan will be playing the Rippers in a doubleheader again tomorrow. First game starts at 1 o'clock. We hope you can all make it. Swing and a miss. John Putnam, a Lakeland College student, and myself will be announcing the Memorial Day Parade on Monday morning here in Sheboygan. That game will not, that parade will not be broadcast live, however. Have to catch it on replay. So if that's the case, Charlie, you're just going to have to come to the parade, unless you want to watch it late.
Well, see, I mean, a bit of a long drive for me, but
hey, it's
still
only
gonna be worth
Plymouth.
it.
Come on.
That one, a little bit.
All those years you went to Sheboygan Lutheran, who brought you into town?
Initially I was from Plymouth area, which usually a lot of people from Plymouth will end up going to Sheboygan Lutheran.
Boy, pitch looked right in there. It was called a ball, and it drifts into center field. And the runner is going to go all the way to third. So give Lugo a stolen base, and then give Ian Mary an error on the throw.
That one just a bit of a weird situation. Flynn not immediately going to cover the bag.
Yeah, you're right.
So
nobody was really there. And then Walker was slow coming up on the throw. Ball is hit into short right center field. Davis Wilson making the catch, throwing it home. His throw was off the mark, but I think they would have got the runner anyway. Lugo did a good job not to go on the short pop-up to Davis Wilson. Now it's up to Guyton. Andy Guyton was busy on the on-deck circle. I don't know if you noticed that, Charlie. Anyway, he must have chased on at least 2, maybe 3 foul balls while he was standing in the on-deck circle. That name sounds familiar, Guyton. I remember that from last year, but I don't remember the team. There's a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Right, yep. Another strike. Dylan Davis, 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning unscathed. Breaking ball just inside. Boy, that was close.
Bit of a reaction by the crowd as well as CJ out here.
Was yours
on
the
that
gray one? The Sheboygan A's? Yeah, I saw it too. I don't know where it is now. We're looking for
That
a
one.
lost sweatshirt. It was
Olivia joining us in the booth a little bit as there's a foul ball down the right field line.
just
Long
like a
run.
junior high kid losing their clothes.
Long run for first base
It's a
coach.
bouncing ball. Neese made a nice play to get it, but then the throw was way off the mark. And a run scores for the Rippers. Error. E3. Like I said, Jacob Neese made a nice play to get to it. If he could have got his throw to Dylan Davis, they'd have had the out.
It's a little bit of a difficult throw from the knees. It's going a little bit wide. It's pitch high.
Charlie, I might even say it was a lot bit wide.
Well,
pitch in the dirt. And advancing is Guyton on the wild pitch.
I was talking earlier about the speed. Bowling and Guyton might be the fastest two on Chicago's team.
Yeah,
so
the
having
left and center fielder, you're right.
having them two right here.
It's an unearned run, for whatever that's worth, but it still counts on the scoreboard. Pitch is up high. Just when it looked like Dylan was going to get out of the jam, all of a sudden there's 2 outs and 2 runners on, and a run is in.
And just this has overall been a very strong inning. Even still, gave up a walk, fielder's choice, another walk here, and then other runner reached on in the error. So not much on Davis, but
Mike Kuda's up. Breaking ball by Dylan Davis is in for a strike. Ball is hit foul down the right field side into the Ripper bullpen area.
seen a lot of foul balls out to that Ripper bullpen, or out to that right field bullpen, I should say, throughout both this game,
today.
throughout the play-in tournament.
I would say part of that is because you have mostly right-handed batters, and when they foul balls off, it's usually to the right field side.
Foul ball is usually pushed, base hits usually pulled.
No balls and 2 strikes. Davis again 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. It's a hard hit ball to short. Good stop by Flynn. Goes to his feet and throws a strike over to Neese at first, and we're out of the 4th, but not before the Rippers come up with a run. After 3.5, Chicago trails it 5-2.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier Factory authorized dealer.
Well, I'm a chicken home. Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Davis Wilson is going to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Sheboygan on top, 5-2. Joba Farrell still on the mound for the Rippers. His first pitch is low. Wilson having a very nice day. Got a couple of hits in the first game. You know, kind of had a double in this game too, Charlie. Trouble is, it was a double play.
Well,
he hit into.
Had a very good dive and catch as well.
High fly ball out to center. This time Mike Bowling sees it all the way and makes the catch. Ian Mary up next.
Singled and scored last time out, did Mary?
You know he's got to be a baseball man.
Does.
His favorite food is hot dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very much baseball. Between games, had a little bit of time to go get something. He did have one of the hot dogs from here, so.
And you're still alive and kicking, right?
Yeah.
Mary on a ground out to short.
Hot dogs and pretzel bites out here at Wildwood Park. Is it healthy? Absolutely not, but it did taste good.
Bennett Becker walked and scored in that third inning also. Or I should say scored. Mary got a hit and scored. Bennett got a walk and scored.
Becker not too active out in the field so far today. Did catch a fly ball in the first.
Well, the Rippers had him running around a little bit in that first game with their base hits.
A lot of very hard to hit balls last game that just flew out. This game seems to be a lot more like medium level contact. A lot of soft grounders just getting past the infield.
Breaking ball by Farrell is outside, makes the count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Sheboygan on top.
Deuces are wild for this one. See, I remember what you told me.
There you go. Is that going to get down? No. Nice play by Hill. Racing over into right center and made the catch. And that ends the fourth inning. Sheboygan still on top, 5-2.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Now pitching for Sheboygan is Dawson Selvosky. Dawson attends Ripon College. He's majoring in exercise science. Dawson seeing action for the first time this year. He's in his third year with the A's. Final numbers for Dylan Davis. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 2.
It's a very strong starting performance from Dylan Davis. Now handing the ball over to the pen and Dawson Selvosky.
Tony Sanchez will be the first hitter that Dawson faces.
Sanchez hitless so far on the entire day, including our first game.
Ooh, I hope you didn't cast a spell on Dawson. Shouldn't mention that stuff.
I mean, or we say it because it's, keeping up the trend.
I'm hoping you're right, Charlie. So is Dawson.
It's a completely new pitcher. Haven't seen him at all this year, so.
I don't believe it was last year, but it was the year before. I have some friends, we take a walk on Tuesdays, and then we usually sit somewhere and just shoot the bull for a while, and we ended up at the Field of Dreams here in Sheboygan. I think you know where that is, right off of Taylor Drive. Anyway, we were sitting underneath the tree at a picnic table, and all of a sudden, who shows up but Dawson with a bucket full of balls, and he's practicing his pitching all by himself, picking one ball at a time, throwing it at the home plate, to the backstop, and thought that's pretty cool. He's out there trying to get better.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how's he getting them back if he doesn't have a catcher? But
no, he didn't. He just walked over and picked up each of the balls, and he'd go back to the mound and pitch some more. And my one friend who was up in the booth the last time, Ron, he was one of the guys, but Dawson didn't have a catcher's mitt for him, so. And bad start for Dawson, walking that first hitter, and that brings up Greg Ludwig. Ludwig, a big, strong hitter, playing over at first base.
Savasi, a Sheboygan native. 6'1", 175 for the lanky righty.
Yeah, attended North High. I think he played when Chris Wright was still the coach, I believe. You remember, Bill? Dangerous. CJ is pretty confident, then he lets you run the scoreboard. For Goes, okay, Steve Goes is currently the head coach, so Dawson may have finished out his high school career with Steve Goes as his head coach. Ludwig fouls that one off his leg. The way Ludwig danced out of the box after hitting himself, he could have won the Macarena contest.
Had our between-inning dance contest between, and I think a lot of people, maybe starting to feel a little bit of the cold from weather, of course. See, we know it's not the beer because it would definitely mean that they would be dancing more, right? That's what I'm understanding. So
I was doing Bill's job I think a year or so ago, and we did the 7th inning stretch with the take me out. This one lady wouldn't stand up. I shamed her till she did. Line drive to left. It's down, a base hit. Becker hustling it in, and in at second is Ludwig. And the Rippers are threatening with runners on second and third and nobody out.
Becker, very good job to keep that from going into the corner. Nice slide to stop it out in left field foul territory.
Yeah, kept the run from scoring for sure. Josh Mosley up. Silvosky in a jam. Line drive out to left. Bennett makes the catch. Strong throw. It's cut off by Harry. They weren't going to get the runner at home, so good job by Harry to cut it off.
Cuts it off, prevents Ludwig from advancing to third on the throw home.
With that run, score is now 5-3. Benji Rodriguez up. Benji's been on base both times this game. Singled and walked.
No,
good fastball.
Big swing through that one from Rodriguez. That was hit number 7 on the day for Chicago as a ball inside. So Chicago leaving quite a few runners on base. So Sheboygan easily able to get out of jams. Hope to continue that with this one.
Oski's pitch is just off the outside corner. Makes the count 2-1. Ludwig out at second base with his double. We're in the top of the 5th. It's 5-3 Sheboygan.
Top of the 5th, about an hour to hour and a half in. I think we're moving at a little bit better of a pace than last game.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to talk about too, Charlie, about how the game is going, because all of a sudden...
Still,
you know, CJ, we just can't think of everything to tell the new interns.
I'm still learning the commentator's curse, so I need to peel back on that.
Ball is popped up into center field. Walker eases in, makes the grab. I just got this feeling, Charlie, that I don't think 5 runs is going to be enough for us to win. We're going to have to score some more runs. Darius Lugo is up.
Gus Walker feeling that one. It's been a while since he's gotten to see action out there in center field. Started off real active in game 1, but
6, and what is that, the 3rd one this game? So he's up to 9.
Yep.
9 on the day. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
I thought that's what it was. I thought he had 6 in the first game, 6 catches.
Yep.
We're talking about Gus Walker in center field. Made 6 catches in game 1. Line drive down the left field line. Foul. And he's got 2 more this game. 3 more, so he's up to 9. You'd think those Ripper hitters would learn not to hit it out to Gus Walker. He catches everything.
I don't see why they.
Annalise, we voted you winner of the Macarena contest, by the way. And claim your prize at the concession stand. Strike three. A beautiful pitch by Dawson Salvoski to end the inning. Rippers only get one run, but they're easing closer. It's now 5-3 Sheboygan.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family-owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community, and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Gus Walker is going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Gus is 0 for 1 with a walk, and he scored back in the 3rd inning.
Overall, just been very active on both sides of the plate so far today. Having the game-winning hit last game, and of course, as we've been talking about a lot today, very active out in the field.
Gus, a speedy center fielder. The fly ball out to right. Hill coming on hard, slides, and makes the catch. Nice play out there by Tyler Hill. Brings up Kyle Flynn.
Flynn hit in that first RBI of the big 3rd inning. The sacrifice out to right field.
Yes. John Coons is our umpire behind the plate.
We get foul ball out there. Believe that one landed out there, out on the drive.
John Coons was one of our umpires on Saturday for the play ball tournament. Worked the plate, I believe it was in the championship game. Did a nice job. Flynn hammers that ball foul.
Farrell still the only pitcher on the day on this game for the Rippers.
Right. They went through 3 in the first game. Farrell being the last one, gave up the game-winning hit to Walker. It's been he had a rough 3rd inning, obviously. Gave up a couple of long balls. One that probably should have been an out. But he's hung in there. It's a long drive out to center field. Bowling, calling, and catching.
course, last game we didn't really see too much difficulty with people being able to locate the ball out in the field, but now that we have now we don't have any sun to
darkness.
deal with.
Right.
Harry comes in, had the big 2 RBI double back in the third for his first hit on the year.
Yeah, he's got a batting average. Harry offering at that first pitch, fouls it back.
Finally, batting average, I believe, 1 for 6.
Sounds about right.
Somewhere around that.
He was 0 for 2 in game 1. Bouncing ball up the middle. Taken and thrown out by the second baseman, Kuda. 4-3 put out, and that ends the 5th inning for Sheboygan. They're still on top, 5-3.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Dawson Silvoski still on the hill for Sheboygan. He will be facing Tyler Hill to lead off. Tyler playing out in right field, made that nice sliding catch in the bottom of the 5th.
We've seen a number of very good fielding plays from both teams. Of course, we had that nice diving catch by Davis Wilson back in the 3rd, I believe. And
yeah, that one. Right, that was a good one. Hey, let me ask you this, Charlie. Taking so far the 2 games, what do you think has been the best play defensively?
Defensive play, I still got to give it to Guylan out in left field
Me
with that
too.
jumping
I was
catch.
thinking first game, Guyton made a catch up against the wall off of Jimmy Jurgensen's bat. I agree with you there.
I think of our 4 web gem plays that we've had, probably that, then Davis, then the center field slide, then the right field slide.
Silvoski starts Hill off with a strike. Breaking ball is hit to Harry. Couldn't catch it on the short hop. Base hit. What are we calling it?
It's one of those difficult hits. I actually believe they are calling that an error.
What'd you give him, Bill? Okay. E5.
Marking that down in my scorebook as well. I had that marked as a single. Difficult hop, but still playable.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll listen to the official score.
What I don't like is them getting a leadoff hitter on again. Andy Guyton is up. He's so far the winner of our Web Gem Award for this doubleheader. Pitch is fouled straight back. There it is. That wasn't a bad one, Charlie. That one wasn't too bad.
Didn't have any at all during our play ball tournament out too in this doubleheader.
None.
So
we've had 2 today.
That one I was a lot more prepared for than the first one.
Caught him leaning. Oh, they had him if he makes a good throw.
Of course, the Sheboygan pitchers have to be pretty cautious.
The fly ball out into right center field. Racing over and making the nice catch was Eckerson. You know, between Brady and Gus, either one of those guys would be really good in center field. They're both very good outfielders.
Just overall, both teams have very strong outfields for this.
Mike Bowling is the next hitter for the Rippers. 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Sheboygan up 5-3.
Of course, with another one of the many outfielders, Sheboygan having to be...
Hey, got him picked off. Good throw by Jimmy. And they got him. They picked him off. Good job by Dawson Selvosky. 1, 3, 6, and 4 for the pickoff.
Always interesting when you see the callings on some of those pickle plays where lots of back and forth and back and forth.
Wilson made a heck of a play. He caught it, and then he had a dive to get the runner and was able to nip him on the hip and get the out. Bouncing ball to short. Flynn hangs back on it but makes a strong throw across, and they get him by a half a step. Through 5.5, Sheboygan still on top.
We are a family, and like your family, our main concern...
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy.
Getting ready to lead off the 6th inning for Sheboygan is Brady Zackerson. Brady has a double and a triple, scored a run, and has an RBI. First pitch is in the dirt.
Dirt skips well out towards the Sheboygan dugout.
Is that Olivia's sweatshirt? She was up here looking for it. Does she know where it is? Okay, good. Annalise trying to steal Olivia's sweatshirt, but we caught her. Ball 2.
I mean, us interns have to find a profit somehow. It's free merchandise.
Free merchandise up in the press box. Scared to death out of her, Annalise. We found Olivia's sweatshirt. And Olivia is very happy.
Olivia probably arguably does more work than I do out here, and she's not even officially an intern.
You can tell Bill and I and Charlie.
Yeah.
We're willing to help you up here.
If you need to find someone, we can yell loud enough, I'm sure.
Pop up on the infield. Ludwig makes the catch. And that's all for Brady. And that'll bring up Jacob Neese.
Neese 0 for 2 so far on this game. Hoping to break that. Trying to work on a 2-game hitting streak. At least 2 game. I don't know how he did on Wednesday.
Right, yeah, we don't have stats from that particular game. Although, where is that one fancy sheet that he left here up here for us? In that Kewaskum game, Sheboygan had 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And Kewaskum had 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. Doherty was the winning pitcher with Rail getting the save. Rosenthal was the losing pitcher for Kewaskum. Sheboygan on a 5-game winning streak, trying to extend it to 6 if they can hang on to the lead in this second game of the Saturday doubleheader.
Big swing
and a miss. That one. Jacob has 1 left. It's 2-2. Jimmy Jurgensen waiting on deck, Charlie.
Jimmy been very good so far this game. Had some pretty good defensive plays out there last inning.
That was Jacob. Jimmy's a DH.
That's right.
That's all right.
He's been first base so many games so far.
First mistake this year.
I know. Neese had some good defensive plays. There we go. Got that one.
Breaking ball. Good pitch by Joba Farrell. Jurgensen coming up. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the second.
One thing that I know for sure, at the very least, is that Jimmy has been doing very well hitting so far in both these games.
Yeah,
even though it is only
hits, that's for sure.
Only so far 2 hits on the day, but still some very, very strong hits out there that didn't quite land for a hit.
Again, we don't know how he did on Wednesday, but he does have a hit in each game today.
So and at least
2-game hitting streak for sure.
At least.
Hard ground ball, but over to the second baseman. And Jimmy's out, and we're off to the 7th inning. If Sheboygan can hang on to the lead, they'll sweep the doubleheader.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier Factory authorized dealer.
Getting ready to start the 7th inning. Silvosky still out there looking to pick up the save. He's going to have to navigate through the tough part of the order. There are Rippers 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Mike Kudo made that fine play out at second base to end the A's 6th. Is going to lead it off in the 7th. Silvosky's first pitch is out of the strike zone. Ian Mary still doing the catching. No defensive changes for Sheboygan. Starting lineup still out there.
Kuda so far 2 for 5 on the day. 2 singles, 2 walks.
Played first base in the first game. He's at second base this game. Looks pretty comfortable on the infield.
Like you had said last game, a lot of positional versatility.
Bouncing ball to Flynn. He one-hands it, throws across. And they say the throw pulled him off the base, making an E6. Good job by Jacob to catch the ball, but just a little too wide. Not able to keep that toe on the bag.
Of course, Flynn, part of that positional versatility, played third base during the play ball tournament. Now at shortstop, ends up.
Tim Moyer coming out to see what he has in mind. I think Kyle Flynn had a little more time than he may have thought. You know, he could have gathered himself a little bit and made a more accurate throw, might have got him. But Dawson Silvosky did a whale of a job out there, going 2 innings.
It's a nice ovation from the crowd for the performance, as well as...
Who's chucking for Sheboygan?
I believe Jurgensen.
Jimmy Jurgensen?
I think.
Jimmy Jurgensen is going to take over for Silvosky.
Jurgensen inheriting
Dawson Silvosky's line is he pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. He is responsible for the runner on first.
I don't believe so, because I believe we were counting that as an error. So
what?
I believe the runner on first counted as an error, so I don't.
Right, it will not be an earned run if that runner scores. For Jimmy Jurgensen, this is his first trip to the mound this season. We're both looking to see if he pitched at all last year. He probably
7
did.
innings pitched last year in 4 games. Did not give up a run.
Okay.
8 strikeouts, 5 walks. Did not give up an earned run. 2 unearned runs on his ledger.
You know, one of the first things, or maybe not the first thing, but one thing that Dawson did before he left the mound is he went over to Kyle and said, you know, don't worry about it, you know, making the bad throw. So good sportsmanship shown by Dawson towards teammate Kyle Flynn. And Tony Sanchez is up. A good start. Jimmy firing in a strike. You don't have to worry too much about that runner at first. Rippers need 2 runs to tie. work on the hitter.
Of course, even when it comes to base running, Kuda, compared to some of the other people on this Chicago team, not quite as fast, so not as much of a threat on the base paths if this was, say, Guyton or Bowling or some of the people at the bottom of the order.
Breaking ball is foul.
Caught.
And a diving catch is made by Jacob Neese. That ball was ripped down the first base line, and Neese was right there and made the catch. Oh, boy. I think it would have been foul, but point is he did catch it.
Sadly, it was a little bit slow on the camera switch. Did not get to see it on our stream, but
it was hard for me to see, too, because I got the big support pole for the fence. And all of a sudden they're calling him out, and I'm like, oh, my.
Then we play two. Of course, earlier in the game, that might be one that not as big of a deal if you catch, but, top of the 7th, got it.
Ball in the dirt. And Ludwig is down. I don't know if he got hit or not. John Coons didn't signal at all. And they're going to say, no, he was not hit by a pitch, but it was close. And Kuda advances to second on the wild pitch.
Ludwig nearly nicked by that pitch,
Yeah.
but I think just trying to get out of the way ended up.
I think Ludwig was more amazed he was not hit than anybody up here in the press box.
No, beautiful breaking pitch right there. For me, I'm still new to this. It's a little bit difficult for me to tell. What's the changeup, what's the fastball, what's the breaking ball. That one could easily tell that was the breaking ball coming in.
Yeah, you're right there. It was a dandy. Jimmy coming back with the fastball. Count still sitting at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball is hit out into center field, a base hit. Kuda will race around. Oh, they're going to hold him up at third. Oh, interesting. Looked like he would have scored standing up.
I think at this point, Chicago maybe just being a bit cautious.
Probably rightfully so. No sense in taking any chances.
It's one of those things where we're in the final inning of regulation, at least. So, hopefully, Chicago thinking, all right, don't risk that extra out if we don't need to. But Sheboygan going to accept the fact that we now have a chance of double play.
Oh, and Mary's throw is wide, goes into center field. Ludwig steals second and goes to third on another Sheboygan error. And they fall asleep on the field, and Ludwig comes all the way around from first base and scores. Say 2. Error on the throw, and then the error on the whatever fielder it was out there. The center fielder, second baseman, I didn't see. But the game is tied. 2 runs scored.
Just can't see it too well on our feed, but 6 errors on the game for Sheboygan. That's really been the turning point, I think, for this being as close of a game as it is.
Boy, Sheboygan fell asleep there. They'll have to win it in the bottom of the 7th again. That's what they did in game 1.
Providing a little bit of excitement at least, but now at about hour 45 in, looking to be a little bit longer than we were thinking just an inning ago.
Mosley goes down swinging for out number 2. And that brings up Benji Rodriguez. Well, Dylan Davis is not going to get the win. At this point, Jimmy will not get a save. Matter of fact, there's no way he can get a save anymore. Now what we got to worry about is get the third out and get a run in the bottom of the inning. Looking ahead, it'll be Davis Wilson, Ian Mary, and Bennett Becker. So 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 3, and that ends the top of the 7th, but not before the Rippers come up with 2 runs and tie up the ball game.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Joba Farrell still on the mound for the Rippers. Leading off the inning is going to be Davis Wilson. I don't know about you, Charlie, but it's getting a little chillier out there now.
Yeah, it's beautiful day to start off. Once it gets to night, it's starting to get a little bit chilly. I'm a little bit glad we're still in the press box at least. Gives us a little bit warmer, I think.
Davis fouls that pitch off, evens the count at 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up at 5. Sheboygan won game 1, 6-5. In the bottom of the 7th. They need to have a repeat performance of that. That would be nice.
Farrell in his 8th inning of work so far, though didn't pitch all too much in the 7th last game.
Pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Waiting on deck is Ian Mary. Davis falls that one off his foot and goes down.
Seeing a surprising amount of people falling over on their swings so far today.
Sanchez being a good sport, picking up Davis Wilson's helmet.
So these teams very evenly matched so far. Really just the big issue for Sheboygan has been the fielding. A couple of poor errors.
Not a good game for Sheboygan in the fielding department, that's for sure.
Six errors, I believe we were talking earlier. 8 left on base for Chicago, I think it was.
1 for us only. They have 8. That's right. Maybe the bugaboo here, Charlie, is we only have 5 hits.
5 hits, but Sheboygan has been efficient with them.
A fly ball out to right. Hill backs up and makes the catch. Brings up Ian Mary.
Wilson still with a good hit, but just lined right over to Hill. He's camped under it in right field. Brings up Mary. He had a single and scored in the 3rd inning.
Takes that first pitch a little bit high and outside.
Mary, another Sheboygan native. Sees one on the outside. 5'10", 190, 19-year-old. Currently goes to UW Platteville.
Yeah, he's a big kid. His favorite teams are all Cleveland sports.
Not really something you expect too much. You don't usually think of people right away as being Cleveland sports fans.
I wonder what the tie-in with that is. You know, has he got relatives there? Is he originally from there?
Everything else seems very
There's
Wisconsin.
A hard hit ball to center field, but it's caught. That brings up Bennett Becker. I don't know if Tony Sanchez was trying to be funny because the batter before he handed the bat to Jackson Tillman, that time he just stood by the bat and watched Jackson come out and pick it up himself. But I think everybody's getting along down there. No hard feelings.
Lots of time spent on this. I believe both teams been here for about 6 hours so far in the day, give or take a few minutes.
They've been getting to know each other, that's for sure. No balls and 2 strikes on Bennett Becker. Ball's popped up on the infield. Kuda makes a catch, and that ends the 7th for Sheboygan. We're going extra innings.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot.
Jimmy Jurgensen still on the mound for Sheboygan.
See some extra innings so far in this game.
Darius Lugo is going to lead off the 8th inning for Chicago. Chicago has 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Sheboygan 5, 5, and 6.
It was never a good thing to see your team with more errors than hits.
That's brutal. Of the 5 runs that they've scored, only 2 of them have been earned, which would make sense. A good breaking ball by Jimmy. Had Lugo fooled. Darius is 0 for 3, but he did score a run. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, and he goes down swinging. Mary has to throw him out. It's a K and then a 2-3 put out.
Mary making sure to take time.
And actually, that was smart by Lugo to make him throw the ball because Ian has had some issues with that.
Had 2 errors on some attempted throws to the take out a stealing runner.
Tyler Hill is up next. Tyler's 1 for 3.
One of the people who reached error in this game.
Yeah, he was the guy that got picked off the first.
Did end up getting picked off a lot. I was trying to talk that whole inning about, Sheboygan needs to be, really in on the base runners. Ends up getting picked off, right as I'm trying to say that.
Called, strike 3. Good pitch by Jimmy Jurgensen. Jimmy has been out there, and he's recorded 4 of the 5 outs that he's been out there for have been strikeouts. Andy Guyton up next. We were talking during one of the breaks that that name, Guyton, sounds familiar. CJ thinks he may have been playing for Lombard or Addison. But I can remember last year, too, in doing various games, his name sounds familiar. Just making out, Andy, that's all. Then we'll love you. That strike evens a count at 1-1.
Strikeout, we'll figure out why the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, have to talk to him. Had a nice little chat with Mike Bowling between games. We mentioned that earlier.
Did see him hand off the wild pitch back to the ump.
Right, yeah, he was the guy. Ran it right up there and handed it to him. Pop up on the infield. Neese makes the two-handed catch to end the inning. And Sheboygan will be up in the bottom of the 8th. Leading it off will be their leadoff hitter, Gus Walker.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
At Northwoods, we are a family. And like your family, our main concern is safety. As a leader in the cleaning and sanitation industry, we're doing our utmost to support and supply essential cleaning, sanitizing, and maintenance products to your family and business. And we're introducing new products, like our Cool Water Personal Hand Sanitizer with essential oils. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by COVID-19. At Northwoods, we're protecting you through this pandemic and the next.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Getting ready to lead off the inning is Gus Walker. Top of the order for Sheboygan.
Had the walk-off hit in the first game.
Joba Farrell still on the hill for Chicago, and he's still bringing it after 7 innings of work. Walker with a line drive. Base hit. Good start for Sheboygan. And again, we don't know how Gus did on Wednesday, but he has hits in each game of this doubleheader. His third hit of the day right there. Kyle Flynn is next.
It's good thing for Gus that things went extra to keep up that hitting streak. Only walked in that first one, but Kyle
Walker
Flynn
is definitely a base-stealing threat. Didn't look like he had much of a lead on that first pitch. Foul ball a third. Mosley didn't throw it right away. Did a little crow hop. They had no chance at that point for a double play. That puts Flynn on at first after they get the force out at second. And Harry Steltz up.
the slide from Walker might have even deterred a bit of a throw, so sets Harry up pretty well.
Harry with a fly ball out to deep center field. Bowling makes the catch. Strong throw back to the infield. Forces Flynn back to first. And that brings up Brady Zachrisson. They're hitting the ball pretty good, Charlie, but they seem to be getting under it too much. And, you know, those long drives then are just easy catches in the outfield.
Just get a little bit more power on them.
Extra base hit could maybe score Flynn. He's got good speed, and Brady's got a double and a triple. First pitch of Flynn is stealing, and he's going to go to third, and he'll make it. We got a runner on third with one out. 2 outs. Thank you.
So now at this point, passed ball or wild pitch ends up being a close play.
Yeah, Sanchez is going to have to do the job now, but we got a runner on third with 2 outs. Brady up. All we need is a single or an error or a wild pitch or a pass ball or a balk.
The walk-off balk is always a special thing. Haven't seen any balks so far in my time yet, but would be willing to have a first.
Brady in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, a little chin music there. Flynn on at third.
On at third, ready to run on just about anything. Hoping to score a nice walk-off run.
Farrell set and delivers. That pitch upstairs evens the count at 2-2.
Farrell doing very well for pitching in both games. Even if it wasn't much pitching in the first game, still 7 2/3 deep.
Bouncing ball foul. If you look over at third, Charlie, you'll see Mosley holding Flynn close. And then as Farrell gets into his motion to deliver the pitch, he starts to move off the baseline. But when he's over there, he's leaving a big gap between himself and the shortstop.
Because usually that, sticking close to the base, something you see on first, but at this point, seeing that Flynn is a fast runner and can't really give up anything right now.
Ball is tap foul at home plate.
There's 2 strikes, a little bit too risky to do that. 2 outs, a little bit risky, but now just a well-placed real short chopper to that dead zone that we saw a lot during that first game.
That could get it done. You're right.
Flynn very fast over at third base. A ball high.
3-2. 2 outs. Waiting on deck is Jacob Neese. That ball is hit hard but foul. Brady got all of that one.
Just a little bit early on the swing.
We'll do it all over again. 3-2, 2 outs. Flynn on third. Brady Zach Grison at the plate.
Sheboygan think they'd be willing to take a walk at this point just to reset the strikes.
Another bouncing ball foul.
Nearly a good play by third base coach. Don't think he fully got the extension out there in foul territory.
You know what he did, Charlie? He showed his age on that play. Hard to bend over. Come on, Brady, get a hit. Oh, that was a hanging curveball. Oh, Brady would like to have that one back. That was not a good pitch.
And curveball, a little bit high in the zone, not quite right down the middle, but
Farrell
still
got away with one there, Charlie. Trust me. That was a bad
definitely
pitch.
got away with that one, yeah. Farrell starting to show a little bit of his fatigue from pitching so long.
He came back with the good fastball and got him. And we're heading to the ninth, all tied.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy.
Leading off the top of the ninth for the Rippers will be Mike Bowling. Bowling has 6 catches out in center field in this ball game. We talked about Walker having 6 in the first game.
The outfield has been very active for this game, and for this series so far.
Right. Ball is fouled behind the A's dugout. No balls and 2 strikes on Bowling.
A little bit of a weird swing and result from that. You know, he kind of had to back up in order to hit that and still push it foul. Usually one of those you see it go pulled, but
there's a drive out into center field. Walker got turned around and makes a catch.
I believe that puts him in double digits now for F8s within these 2 games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this game. He's got 11.
Oh,
11 on the day.
I missed the big 1-0.
Yep. That was the 7th inning. He caught the second out of the inning. check that. That's not correct.
Fans.
I wonder if Coons and Walsh are doing the doubleheader tomorrow too.
I mean, I'd think at this point if
maybe we should set them up with
to.
a couple of rooms at the American Club, CJ. Will you afford that? Super 8. Oh, my wife and I stayed on a Colin Lodge one night. And never again. Called, strike 3. That brings up Tony Sanchez. But that Econo Lodge was not the Sheboygan Econo Lodge. That was a different one. So, the one in Texas. The one in Sheboygan is perfectly fine.
Fine isn't actually fine, or fine for Econo Lodge standards?
It's fine.
Okay. I've never been to one, so I wouldn't know fully, but
that pop-up is out of play. Ooh, just caught the corner of the roof.
A lot more disappointed. See, that first one made me think that we were going to get real big roof shots.
No, that was probably, well, in my time here, my sentence, that was the loudest. Whoa. Yeah, really. That was close. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Line drive past Harry down the left field line. Becker races over and makes a strong throw in, holding Sanchez to a single. And that's going to bring up Greg Ludwig. Pinch runner. Pinch runner is number 6.
Melendez taking over on the
Enrique Melendez pinch running.
Melendez saw him pitch a little bit in the first game.
Yep. He actually did pretty good in that first game pitching.
I believe still credited with the loss due to letting the
he pitched well enough. He got credit for the loss, so you're right. Mary making a good stop on that low pitch. That ball's tagged out to right field, but Brady Z retreats back and makes a nice one-handed catch. And that ends the 9th inning for the Rippers. When we come back, it'll be Jacob Neese leading off the bottom of the 9th.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes.
Defensive changes for Chicago. Mike Martin comes back in for Melendez, who pinch ran for Sanchez. Martin will go to short. Benji Rodriguez, who was at short, is going to slide over to third base. And Mosley, who was at third base, is going to slide into catching the ninth inning. Farrell is still on the mound for Chicago. Now, we talked before, I don't know if it was on air or between innings, Charlie, but Jacob Neese is a good power hitter. So stay awake. He might jack one out of here. How many did he have last year? Is he on my list that I gave you? Well, that's right. He had 3 early, and then he finished the season with 4.
Yep.
He had 3 home runs early in the year, and only had 1 more the rest of the season. But he's a
if he can repeat
good long ball hitter.
If he can repeat something like that, I'd be fine with it at this point.
It's early enough for him to start hitting home runs.
Exactly.
Farrell, after having trouble in the third inning, has pitched really well the last 5 innings, allowing only 1 Sheboygan base hit.
Farrell working the entire game so far, coming into his 9th inning of work. Game 1 saw, I believe, 3 pitchers for Chicago.
He's walked 2
him.
in the entire game, and both of those came in the third inning. And that's part of the reason why he got in trouble. Another strike, evens the count at 2-2. I guess if we're saying anything about Joba Farrell, is he's been pretty good tonight.
He's been good. Also showing some good offensive prowess in Game 1 with that home run. But perhaps even better on the mound.
There's a bouncing ball through the infield. A base hit for Jacob.
I believe that
and
brings,
that brings
up
the pitcher, Jimmy Jurgensen. Charlie mentioned earlier in our broadcast that Charlie led Sheboygan last year in home runs with 8, looking for his first one this season.
We're the first one for anyone other than Brady Zackerson.
Jacob, not a real fast guy. Usually doesn't steal a lot of bases.
Big swing there from Jimmy, trying to, at the very least, advance a couple runners.
Pitches inside, makes the count 2-1.
Farrell has just very good on the mound today. I mean, 7 hits, but just 5 through the 7th, I believe.
Well, I take that back about Jacob. According to my sheet from last year, he had 5 stolen bases. Now would be as good a time as any to get a stolen base. Jimmy sitting with a 2-2 count. Oh, good breaking ball by Farrell, and he got Jurgensen to swing and miss. Davis Wilson is next.
Second baseman number 33, Davis Wilson.
Davis caught a very, very solid hit earlier on in the game, but that feels like a long time back at this point.
Yeah, right. Jacob still perched over at first base. Doesn't seem to be taking a real big lead. There he goes. Bouncing ball up the middle. Second baseman can't make the play, but he does pick it up and throws Wilson out at first. He had a chance for the force at second, but once he fumbled the ball, he stuck with it and didn't get an out. And now it leaves it up to Ian Mary. Mary hit the ball pretty solid his last at bat, but it was a fly out to center.
Singled back in the second inning, the third inning, his first at bat. Hoping to repeat that.
This is Ian's first year with Sheboygan A's.
Big breaking ball from Farrell.
After graduating North High last year, he stuck with the Legion team, played one more season with them. Another strike. 0-2 is the count.
And well inside.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Neese on at second. He'll be running like the wind on a base hit. Ian, half-hearted cut, strikes out, and that ends the 9th inning. We're heading to the 10th.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
At Northwoods, we are a family. And like your family, our main concern is safety. As a leader in the cleaning and sanitation industry, we're doing our utmost to support and supply essential cleaning, sanitizing, and maintenance products to your family and business. And we're introducing new products, like our Cool Water Personal Hand Sanitizer with essential oils. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by COVID-19. At Northwoods, we're protecting you through this pandemic and the next.
Getting ready to begin the 10th inning of play. Second game of the doubleheader. We're all tied up at 5. For Chicago, they will have Josh Mosley, Benji Rodriguez, and Darius Lugo facing Jimmy Jurgensen. Jimmy staying out there. When we look at that left on base, Chicago's left 9 on base. We have only left 3. And part of that is because of the good pitching that Chicago's had this game. Nice play by Harry. Throw out Mosley. Benji Rodriguez.
At this point, you got to think that one of the big things for Sheboygan to do in these extra innings is to keep the ball safe. Of course, the errors really leading them to this tie game.
Yeah, right. Especially in that 2-run 7th inning. Boy, oh boy, we really fell asleep there.
2-run bottom of the 7th. Both runs scoring on the same play. Start off with a errant throw on a steal attempt.
1-1 is the count. Jimmy with a good fastball, and Rodriguez fouled it straight back. Reminds me of a play that happened in a Brewer game this season with Christian Yelich on first. He wound up sealing second, going to third on a bad throw from the catcher, and then he wound up coming all the way around and scoring. Oh, hit him right on the back.
See, the Brewers play that I remember the most with that, which I don't remember if it was a steal attempt, but it was against...
For Yelich?
No, this was a few years back against the Rockies. Ended up clearing the bases off of just some defensive miscommunication from the Rockies. 3 runs on, I think it was 3 runs on a wild pitch.
Oh, boy. Well, if it takes a crazy bounce, I guess that could happen.
I think it was a wild pitch, and then
Lugo is up with a man on first. 1 out. We're in the 10th. It's a fly ball out to center. Walker, he's got it again.
Continuing to be
fly
active.
Ball
in this
number
game.
12.
Brings up Tyler Hill.
Tyler Hill up. Tyler was a strikeout victim back in the 8th inning. That was against Jimmy. Jurgensen came in that 7th inning with the man on. Figured, we'll get this, wrap up this 7th inning and have ourselves a win. And here he is pitching in the 4th inning, or his 4th inning of work.
And I believe still no earned. I don't think any of those runs were earned on him.
No, they're definitely not.
So no earned runs.
Well, Ian's throw off the bag, but good catch made by Davis, keeping it on the infield. Give Rodriguez a stolen base. Sheboygan certainly not controlling Chicago's running game in game 2 of the doubleheader. Fly ball down the right field line.
Foul.
And foul. Brady racing over, but couldn't get there in time. There are 2 outs.
Very well hit, but just too far towards that right field line.
Dylan Davis did a nice job going 4 innings. Dawson Silvosky bridged the gap, got the ace to the 7th inning with the lead, but Sheboygan not able to hold it. Swing and a miss, strikeout for Jimmy Jurgensen. And we're heading to the bottom of the 10th. For Jimmy, that's strikeout number 6 in his 4 innings of work.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier Factory Authorized dealer.
take you home. Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Look at that shot, boys and girls. That's the light pole out in left field with the haziness given off by the bright lights. It's very cool. Bennett Becker is going to lead off the 10th for Sheboygan. He lays down a nice bent. Farrell throws high. Oh, and he got him. Good try. Farrell was up to the task, though.
Even after 9 and change innings of work for Farrell. This is one I do kind of wish I was keeping track of the pitches. He just had a very, very strong pitching performance as Farrell.
I will be willing to bet he does not pitch tomorrow, though.
I would imagine he has the full day off tomorrow at this rate.
Walker on a bouncing ball. Foul. Coon's making a terrible throw to the pitcher, making him work. But Farrell gets to choose which ball he wants. So I'll take that one.
How do we mark down an error on the umpire?
EU.
Oh, okay. I think at this point we're add a little bit extra to this game.
Good fastball, and Walker swings and misses. Strike 3. That was a 6th strikeout for Farrell in the ball game. Kyle Flynn up. Flynn looking for his first hit this ball game. Pull that one straight back.
Quick 1-1 count. Flynn scored the run back in this hit in the first RBI of the 3rd. It's been quiet ever since.
2 balls and 1 strike. And that throw got past Farrell. Not a good one from Mosley. And because the late evening hour, the balls that roll on the grass are now pretty damp. They're going to have to put it in the dugout and dry it off.
Have a runner on base during one of those.
So I'm going to foul tick right into the glove of Mosley. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Deuces are wild just like the energy up here in the press box, am I right? Let's get a head shake of disapproval from CJ.
Aren't there any more hockey games to watch? Again.
This one I think we might see if Premier League's on. Start getting to like soccer. Got a suggestion of professional...
Ball is fouled off.
Yeah, got a suggestion for viewing some table tennis and see if we can find out what we got back here.
Flynn hanging in there, 2-2. Farrell comes with the good fastball. Flynn pops it up. Ludwig makes the catch and foul ground. But that ends the 10th. We're moving to the 11th.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a nap.
Sheboygan has the top of their order up, leading off the 11th inning. It'll be Andy Guyton, Mike Bowling, and Mike Kuda. 1, 2, and 3 hitters for Jimmy to work against. And there's a ground ball. And it's a base hit, got by Nice. And that's about all she wrote. Nobody's going to get over there to make the play and get Guyton out. And that brings up Mike Bowling. It'll be interesting to see how Chicago plays this, if they try to steal the base or maybe have Bowling bunt them over. Harris thinks in a bunt. He's up in front of the bag, just on the edge of the grass. Get that other shot there. You see him over at third.
Move the camera that we normally have over there to get our light shot.
Pitch is in the dirt and past Mary. Probably a ball he should have caught. It was not in the dirt. It was low, but it got by him. And Guyton moves the second. Now the Rippers can just hit away. They got their runner in scoring position like they wanted. Bouncing ball over to third. Wilson's play is just in time. He looked like he was safe, but Walsh called him out. But Guyton moves to third. So the Rippers got a runner on third, but only one out.
Bowling not happy with that call.
No, and I think he's got an argument.
Very close play.
We saw in that play ball tournament that John Coons had a short. He just gave a warning to the Rippers and told them the next time you are out of here. And that's what may have happened in that play ball tournament, Charlie, because he gave a warning to the shortstop, and then Sisler came out of the dugout to complain, and that's when he threw him out right away. So I'm thinking that's what it might have happened last Saturday. Chicago very close to having somebody thrown out here. Oh, it's up to Mary to keep that ball in front of him. Don't let anything get by.
Infield in as well, trying to prevent any, try to force them to hit into the outfield in order to score a run.
Swinging a foul tick.
Guyton over at third, very quick on the base paths and in the field.
Nice pitch by Jimmy to get strike two. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he swings and misses. Kuda helped out Jimmy on that pitch. It was out of the strike zone, but he swung at it and missed. And that brings up Mike Martin. We don't have. You're not really booing me. I know that. Martin did not show to be a real strong hitter in the first game. Hopefully we can get him out here and go to the bottom of the 11th. Martin takes strike one. Here's a situation where that out call at first base is really important because, even if Martin strikes out, you still got 2 runners on. You should have 1 more out to work with. He's got to come through right here. Hits the ball to Flynn at short. He picks, bobbles, and safe is the call. Martin put the ball in play. Flynn not able to make the play. Allows Martin to reach, and the runner on third, Guyton to score. Oh, error number 7. Another unearned run allowed. You got to give Martin credit. He was sitting with 2 strikes and needed to make contact, and he did. That pitch is in the dirt. That is a wild pitch. Martin moves to second.
For a few innings, this has been a very solid, just good back and forth. Didn't really show up any of those difficulties in the field, but now coming on to this late in a doubleheader.
Yeah,
been here for
the 7th inning, and now here in the 11th. Ay, ay, ay. Probably a good move there. Get that left-hander. So intentional walk to Greg Ludwig. Josh Mosley, who's now catching, is going to be up.
Trying to get a force play out at anywhere.
Yep, that's the other thing.
Save the throws. Had a few throwing errors so far today.
Martin out at second, and Ludwig now at first. Mosley steps in the batter's box. Jimmy's first pitch is inside.
Now, big swing on that one.
He gets his money's worth when he's up there, that's for sure.
I believe it was last game that he had strikeout they ended up falling over on afterwards.
I think you're right. That's right, he did.
Not fully swing out of his shoes, but
certainly
close.
Swung out of his helmet.
Yeah, he did. Had a couple people swing out of their helmets, I think, so far today.
Score is 6-5 Chicago. We're in the 11th.
Got to think that our advertisers out here on the stream are a little bit happy with the extra innings. A lot of their commercials going out here.
There's a bouncing ball over to Davis at second. He makes the play over to first, and that ends the inning. But not before the Rippers come up with a run. As we enter to the bottom half of the 11th, Sheboygan is down 1.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
These spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Farrell still on the hill for the Rippers. We were commenting between innings. We wonder how many pitches he's thrown tonight. He's other than that trouble he had in the third, he's really pitched a fantastic ball game. A lot of credit to Joba. Harry Stout will be leading off the 11th for the A's. And then following him will be Brady Zach Grissom. You know, a single and a home run would be fine.
I'd be okay with that.
We got a Ripper player right below us with their little baby. Oh, that we know that
long
guy.
Day for the kid.
That's Enrique Melendez. Kiki. Right in front of us, first row.
Oh, just outside.
Oh, it looked pretty good. Called the ball.
Farrell, I think, wanted that to be a strike. That one's skipping past. Starting to lose a little bit of control, but coming
Joba Farrell has 2 walks in the ball game and 6 strikeouts.
I think that's one of the more impressive things about this.
Well, the 2 walks are what really hurt him. He walked 2 guys in the third inning that loaded the bases, and then that's when Sheboygan started getting their clutch hits.
I mean, only having a few walks and a few strikeouts means a lot. The ball's been put in play a lot for him. This ball is
fewer strikeouts actually is good for a pitch count.
Few strikeouts are good for the pitch count, but a lot of reliance on your fielding. But Chicago, their fielding has been fantastic so far today. Only the 1 error, which I believe was off of a throw on a caught stealing attempt last inning. 2 innings ago.
He takes that pitch outside. That
ago?
loads up the count at
That's too many.
3-2.
All the way back in the 8th. I thought that was last inning. It's been a while since that 1 error for Chicago.
Harry pops it up on the infield. Ludwig calling and catching. And that's out number 1. I think you hit the nail on the head, Charlie, when you said it's not a good thing when you have as many errors as you have hits, and Sheboygan's sitting with 7 hits and 7 errors.
Of course, at this point, Sheboygan just keeping pace with, having to actually catch up on their hits compared to their errors, which is possibly even worse than just having a bunch of errors after you've hit the ball pretty well.
Brady swings and fouls that ball at home plate. I was hoping Harry could get a hit so we'd have more hits and errors.
Talking between
maybe Brady
innings,
can do it.
Talking between innings, I believe with 12 left on base for Chicago, only 3 for Sheboygan.
Pop up into short left. Martin racing. He can't make the play. Or did he? He did make the play. Oh, my. Mike Martin on a great running catch, retreating into short left field, and just got his glove on it and made the grab, and that's out number 2 in the 11th inning. It leaves it all up to Jacob Neese.
Full-blown sprint from Martin to get that out in left field. Think you could have caught that one?
Not even close. Not even when I was a kid. No, maybe then I could have. I probably would have had it in my hip pocket. I would have overran it.
Like that. Have to double back around.
I would have eaten a sandwich on the way out there and then caught it.
2-1 count now on Nice.
We'll be back here tomorrow, 1 o'clock, for another doubleheader against the Rippers. It's Meyer Family Day, so you might want to get here and watch. Nice with a base hit up the middle. Now we have more hits than errors. And that brings up Jimmy. Oh, what a fly, long fly, be a nice end to this night. Yeah, I think Jimmy's thinking the same thing. Let's end this game with a bang.
Pick up, not only pick up a win for the team, pick up a win on his pitching record.
Oh, that's maybe not a good thing. Jimmy hit by a pitch. That moves Nice to second base. That's a good thing. And it brings up Davis Wilson. He's due. He had a couple hits in that first game. He's looking for his first hit in game 2.
Chat with
Bill, how long has the game been so far?
I think right around 3.
Get the smartphone out.
250.
250 right now.
First game went about 230. This one 250.
This actually has moved along quite well compared to the first game. It's just that it's gone so many innings.
Yeah.
All righty, we got a chance. Davis Wilson. Nissan at second. Hit ties it. Davis not able to check his swing. Strike 1. And a good stop by Mosley, keeping the runners on first and second.
Mosley, I don't think expecting to play catcher in this game, but now I believe coming in on his 3rd or 4th inning at behind the dish.
Right.
Just
Davis falls that one back. Now he's down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. He'll have to come through in the clutch.
Already used up our clutch hit of the game, I think.
There it is. Called strike 3 right on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch by the starter and finisher, Joba Farrell. He ends the ball game with 7 Ks to his record. And Sheboygan drops the second game of the doubleheader 6-5. For Sheboygan, they had 5 runs, 8 hits, and 7 errors. Chicago, 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher Farrell, losing pitcher Jimmy Jurgensen. Comments by you, Charlie?
Farrell just with a classic 1940s pitching stat line of an 11-inning complete game, but still performing very well. This game very close throughout, and both games very close throughout, but really just the fielding on Sheboygan letting them down, and tomorrow they're hoping to recover from that and perform just a little bit better in our second set of doubleheaders.
All right, game time was 2:52. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Doubleheader starts at 1. It's Meyer Family Day. We hope to see you there. But until then, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.